Hello, and welcome to Always with Awareness. I'm AWA Longevity.
And I'm Douglas Lodmell. Today we want to talk about longevity again. And we mentioned in another show, if you're going to live, if you end up living a long time, past the age that you've set for yourself, because we all have an age, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So Dan Sullivan of Strategic Coach, when I did some of his coaching, one of the first things he taught us was, hey, you have an age. What is it? And my mind said, oh no, an age? Well, actually I did have an age. It was like 90, right? And I remember my dad had an age and his was like 70.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I want to challenge you to raise your age, because if you pick an age and it turns out to be too low, you're going to run out of friends, health, and money. And that means that you're going to struggle if you pass your age. And I actually watched my father do this. I watched him run out of friends, health, and money because he passed his age by almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And he just wasn't planning for it. And health was a huge one.
That's right.
I think it's health, friends, and money. I mean, I think it's that's the most, well, they're all important. But that's one of the biggest, because without your health, in fact, everyone I know who says, oh, I don't want to be that old, what they mean is, I don't want to be that old. I don't want to be decrepit and in a wheelchair and confined. And
that's right.
But you sent me a lady on TikTok this morning who's 90 years old leading the aerobics exercises.
I know.
I'll be that kind of 90.
That's right.
And honestly, that's the future we're all looking at because of technology and just the improvements of everything around, our ability to age, the drugs that they're going to have that are going to be turning off our genes, that are going to be allowing us to extend our lives, the technology to rebuild our organs and to, keep us healthy.
Yeah.
Now we have to decide, okay, So on this episode, we want to dive deeper.
Yeah, it'd be good to do it in parts.
Yeah.
Because we are asked often, like, can you go deeper? So why don't we do it in 3 parts? And today we tackle health.
Okay, so health, friends, and money. And today it's longevity, your health.
Your health.
So, all right, how do we tackle health? Because that's a huge one. We're all aging, and of course you see your health change, your muscle mass go down, your skin get less elastic, your injuries don't heal as fast. I mean,
That's right.
how do we deal with this until the technology gets there to turn us off our aging?
Well, first of all, is to know what is health. How do you know? How do you measure that you're healthy?
Yeah.
Right? Simple question.
Yeah.
How do I know I'm healthy? Because so many people, we all have so many things happening inside of our bodies that we do not see. That in the moment that it comes to this number, for some doctors, some people, that means you're unhealthy or you're healthy. But I think the pure measurement to health is joy. Doesn't matter what the number said. If your body is all healthy and you're not joyful, you're not healthy. So how is joy so linked to our bodies? That's the number one thing, to know that to be joyful, you have to have your body in place. I think that's the goal of being healthy, at least, is to be joyful. We like to measure things as a goal, because goal gives you the intention. The intention to be joyful will have you step back and say, wow, yeah, do I want to be joyful in my life? And if you want to be joyful in your life, then you want to be healthy. And if you want to be healthy, now you dial it down. What does it mean? And yes, at some parts it's individually what they feel, but there is things that we agree on is this body, as different it is, the requirements kind of the same.
Right. We're all living in this organic, carbon-based life form that kind of functions the same for every one of us.
Yeah. You might have different desires, but the requirement for the body is the same. Water, 78% water. We don't need to tell you. That's why your eyes are blinking right now. Your mouth, you can talk because it's got mucus in there. Your body's moving because of the water. So Water. Number one, water.
We read at some point that virtually all disease is linked to one root cause, chronic dehydration.
Yeah.
Most of us are chronically dehydrated. We don't even know what it feels like to be properly hydrated. And that causes inflammation. And then inflammation is kind of the root cause of every other disease as it inflames and your body does not just process the release of toxins. But if there's one thing that I don't think anybody disagrees on, any doctors or health gurus, they all agree, water.
Yeah.
Hydration.
We are born dehydrated, living dehydrated, because you know what? I'm from West Africa, Senegal. I don't remember water being part of the main, drinking water part of the main things.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just us. I'm living in America. Water is not something anybody push on, ever,
Right.
ever. So yes, we are dehydrated. Number two, we eat dry. Not only we dry, we eat dry. All our food are cooked to death in oil or grilled. No water, ever.
Yeah.
So we are dry and dry and dry beings. So I would love to tackle this in a way of people knowing how to practice a day on day what to look for. And what you look for is, am I hydrated? Period. Because the number one brain in your body is not this one, it's this one, your gut. You cannot talk about healthy body without talking about what? A healthy gut.
Mm-hmm.
What lives in your gut? Bacteria. The food that you eat. How do they move? Water and movement. So we're going to talk about water, stay hydrated, what kind of hydration? Yes, the water you drink. But if you look at the same time, every water in your body is a salty water. So how do we, because now is the era of everybody getting these bottles, filling it up, my kids include, everybody's hanging around with a bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
And we're drinking so much water, but we are still dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you. Why? Because the water we're drinking is stripped out of all minerals.
Well, and Sadhguru says most of your water should come from the food that you eat.
That's right.
Ideally, we wouldn't
Ideally.
be drinking all our water. We would be eating our water through fruits and vegetables and very moist stuff, and even soups and things that are adding water at the same time that it's adding nutrient.
Absolutely.
Easier for your body to digest, keeps you hydrated. When your stool is very hard, it's because the water in your large intestines has been reclaimed because
That's
your
right.
body needs water. You are so dehydrated that you have to reclaim it. So you look like you have rabbit pellets because there's no water left in it.
That's right.
That tells you that is a number one sign of dehydration, and that's really chronic dehydration and can be severe.
And I'm a colon hydrotherapist. For most of you that do not know what that means, is you go and study colonics. Colonics is a way of adding water into the body to move the
bowels,
The bowels.
everything in there. Yeah.
And my husband is the one that pushed me to be one.
Well, we
So-
started getting colonics
Yes.
and realized how powerful it was.
How powerful it
because
was.
toxicity is the key here.
That's
When
right.
you're toxic and your body cannot remove the toxins, then it builds up. It creates the inflammation. It creates the chronic disease and conditions.
Absolutely.
Water is a big part of our system. Water and movement, right?
Water
Our lymph nodes are powered by self-powered movement, like a still suit in Dune, right? You've got to move to make the thing work.
That's right.
So, but you also have to have the water.
That's right.
And so that's when
And-
we started doing it. I'm like, this is for us. We are gonna keep doing this.
And that's how I know how dehydrated were people. So I'm talking out of what I see. I mean, like seeing is believing. It's how what we eat, how fast we eat. The number one, beside being dehydrated, the other problem we have is not taking time to chew our food. How do I know? Because I see it. And then after that, you see what kind of food are not digestible by our system.
Yeah, corn is not digestible by our system. Can attest.
Right? And so is the peel and seeds of tomatoes, even though tomato for a lot of people they think is healthy. But anyway, we're not doctors, we're not even nutritionists, or if we are to ourselves, but not you.
Right.
So please go and find out how to keep yourself the best way hydrated. For me, it's vegetables, soups, not overcooked your food, and a lot of fruits, and water, add salt to it, and a squeeze of lemon to put back the minerals that in the water that you're missing out. Because if you're drinking too much water and not enough salt, which I have done myself, where I had depleted myself from my sodium, I was as dizzy and as somebody who has all the signs of having too much salt or not too much salt is the same. So my blood pressure was too low and I was dizzy a lot. So just because I was drinking too much water and not adding the salt into my body. So that's one thing, gut health. Absolutely. The next thing is movement. Now, movement for a lot of people means going to the gym. For me, it's not. Definitely for women, I think we have to be careful. There is a way to move your body that doesn't require stressing the body. Be careful about stressing the body. I remember your brother has this coach that say if you push your heartbeat to a certain number,
Beats per minute, yeah.
you have to wait up to 48 hours almost to have it go back to a resting.
Right, yeah, and they're saying that's a good thing, right?
It is a good thing.
You want to get it up
Absolutely.
there, and it's working for 2 days.
And it's working for 2 days. So if you are not waiting for that resting time and you keep just pumping it and pumping it and pumping it,
Right.
you can create stress in the body.
Right.
So be careful. The people that just love, addicted to the gym and going full on every day, be careful. I've seen or heard so many young people dropping dead and we don't know why. And I think maybe stressing just the muscle of the heart.
So I mean, obviously, this is a huge topic of which we are
Yes.
not experts, right? So to be clear, we're not saying we know, what your workout routine should be, but we can look at the data, right? Which we have seen. The Blue Zones book talks about it, and you look at the things that consistently the oldest people in the world do.
Yes.
And going to the gym is not on that list. Moving is on the list. Walking is on the list. Daily routines, playing ping pong, exercise, moving your body in a
Biking,
regular, normal way
swimming.
is on the list, right?
Yeah.
But it's mostly walking and just moving.
Yeah.
It's not this dedicated. And yes, I'm all in favor of resistance training, and I'm all in favor of gyms and everything else. We believe in this stuff. Don't get us wrong, but it's not the thing that we look at it and say, what are we going to be able to do when we're 100 years old?
That's
and yeah,
right.
maybe we can go to the gym, but we will not be doing, massive max weight squats. We're going to just be doing body weight stuff. So why not start that now is the question.
I'm always in favor of saying whatever you want to be doing at 80, you better start at 40.
Right.
So 80, going to the gym, I'm sure that's somebody's
some people
dream.
can do it, yeah.
They can do it. But definitely 80, being able to move and not hurting myself, that's absolutely something I can see doing.
Well, gardening, walking, having this routine, things that you can do every day that are enjoyable, that aren't a chore. on
Yeah.
top of it. So if you are the kind that loves gym and you wake up and so that's great. Gym might be your thing until you're 100 and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
But if it's not your thing and if you're struggling already to go to the gym and it's something that you're challenged to even do,
Yeah.
well then it's probably not going to sustain till you're 100. So maybe find something else that accomplishes the job.
That's right.
Walking.
Oh, walking is amazing.
Walking is like the number one.
But you have to know also, there is something about the mind that had decided this one is too easy,
Yeah.
but yet you can't do it. That tells you it's not that easy.
Right?
I mean, literally.
Right. If I want to work out, I can't walk. That's too easy.
No, really, let's talk about that. I mean, walking is difficult for most of us. A simple 1 step, 2 step, 1 step, 2 step. But what we're saying maybe is boring. It's not that it's difficult. For most people, it's just like, what? But we think that it's all about the agitation and the energy of pumping and doing and having other people looking at you, lifting it, and you feed on them. But the easy thing that is walking, you can't do. That tells you it's not that easy.
I love it when people are waiting in line to park as close as they possibly can to the front door of the gym.
If walking was that easy, we'll be all walking. There is something to be said about walking not being easy. Why? Because you are with yourself. There's nobody there. And it's even better if you can't listen to anything and you stay with yourself and make it a meditation time.
Yeah.
So, yes, walking is not for everybody.
No, it's not for everybody. It's not easy to do. And this country doesn't make it easy on top of it, which I'm sorry to say is one of the big deficiencies of living in the United States is that we have a very unfriendly walking culture.
Yes.
Europe is just the opposite. When we go to Europe, we walk from morning to night. We get, 10,000 steps is like a slow day.
I know.
It's a 20,000 step day every day in Europe.
It's amazing.
We come back feeling amazing and we're like, oh my God. And then we get here, Arizona, like, you got to go to the gym to walk.
I know. And it's amazing how a conscious walking moves and works throughout all your body parts. Mm-hmm. I've tried it, and I see that it's just like if you do walk 10,000 steps minimum a day, you cannot be constipated.
No, moves the bowels.
You cannot not be joyful. It's an energy that doesn't compare to coffee or tea or anything. It's a joy that really lasts forever. And I think the other thing is, what it does is the fact that you are moving your eyes. We forget how the eyes is the door to the soul. When you're out there walking in nature and having a long vision, looking at something so far and yet looking at something so close, it does something to the brain. I don't need a doctor telling me. Well, how did that doctor know? He read it in the book. I did not read it in the book. I can tell you, when I do walk, got nothing to do with anything else. My eyesight is better. My head is better. It doesn't compare. And yet, I love going to the gym. It's not the same. And it took me time to know why. And the why is too many parts working in synergy together.
In a real nature walk.
In a real nature walk.
It's like an integral type of training.
Exactly.
Where it's all having to work together.
It's not the gym where you fixate it in the screen.
Yeah.
The fact that if you're outside walking, you are using the muscles of the eye. You cannot help it to look at the tree, the further tree, and back. And it's this back and forth and right and left of the two brains, your two sides of the brain, and the muscle of your eyes. And to be outside in nature, that is why it's working more than anything else.
Yeah. And again, if we look at the list of the things that people do that consistently live over 100 years old, walking is the number one movement exercise on the list, walking. And it's the easiest, it's the most sustainable. Now, again, culturally, it's the most challenging because we live in a culture where it just does not, our cities are not built for walking.
Yeah.
So our advice today is we're all going to move to Europe. No, probably can't do that, can we?
How about we bring Europe to us?
How about we bring Europe here and we start building some walking cities or parts of our cities that are walking? If you're listening to this and you are part of that world, please build us walking. Take away the cars, build us more bike paths and more scooters and things that get us out in nature and talking. And that reminds me, I wanted to ask you, we live in a neighborhood here and you have a horse and you go riding around the neighborhood on the dirt roads on your horse.
Yes.
Do you feel like it's the same on a horse?
Well, no.
No.
God created us with these legs for a reason. And when I trade my two with the four of the horses definitely take some of the walking I should be doing.
The work, yeah.
But there's something else that happens. I got to transfer energy from the horse that I wouldn't gotten if I was walking.
But what does that mean? What do you mean?
When you're on the horse, there is a transfer of energy. There is just this, I don't know how to say it. It's just you become one with the animal. It's just like your heartbeat became one heartbeat. And the horse being this big, gigantic muscle tone, it's almost it energizes you in a different way. Yes, you just take some of the horses in you. And that is amazing. Only a horse can do that.
Well, and you're
people that are riders know that.
Yeah.
So, but that's totally different. I think what the horse does is just lift your joy. You cannot get out of the on a horse and come back with a headache or depressed. It's not heard. Even if you were scared to death, you're gonna come back energized.
Yeah, right.
That's just the power of that animal. It's a different kind of walk. It's a consciousness walk because you are in this 1,200-pound animal that could kill you, but yet allowing you and giving you the honor to be on top of him and
is
to
so
run.
sensitive, that is feeling everything you're feeling. So it's another kind of work that I actually wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Which is that internal work. So we all have known many people who have been incredibly healthy.
Yes.
Go to the gym, eat vegetarian diets, and I mean they're just like this picture of health, and they drop dead from something health related, like Jim Fixx, who wrote the book on jogging, dies while jogging from a heart attack.
Yeah.
Right? And so health is important,
Yes.
but it's not the only thing. There's something even more important that if you have to get right only one, this would be even more important than anything else. And that's just that brain.
Consciousness.
And your consciousness and your understanding of why you would even want to be here. So if you don't answer the question of why do I want to be here? Why do I want to live to 120? Then your body is not going to answer it for you.
How about why do I want to live? Period.
Right. Yeah, right. Why even put a number on it? Why do I want to live?
Right? Or do I want to live joyfully?
Well, I think this is probably the biggest thing that people are living, is that they're living in a state of perpetual seeking happiness with joy not even being on their radar. Joy hits them maybe in moments, fleeting little moments they don't even realize, and then they don't own that joy as something that could be their daily companion.
Well, because, we have transferred joy outside of our being. Whatever that makes us joyful will make it something outside of us, right? We think money will make us joyful, people will make us joyful, dancing will make us joyful. We're not seeing ourselves as a source of joy. So that's different. So it's great that you bring it back, because when we say joy, I'm sure most of us are saying joy, and we're looking at it coming from outside. But it's not something to come from outside. It's something that is within you. You are the source of joy of this life.
Yeah.
You, period. Nothing else. So unless you had harvested that energy of joy within you, then there's no conversation to be having almost, because anything coming at you, you're seeing it as work. But that is the only work. Once you get that you are the source of your joy within you. I remember one of my nieces asked me one day what do I think about diet? I said, but why are you so focused on food? She's like, what? I said, yeah. Why are you not demystifying food by now? But I say by now, I can understand a child being so in awe in front of an ice cream. But by 50.
Yeah. Maybe
by
ice
50,
cream shouldn't put you in awe.
But it shouldn't be in awe. You should be in awe. Not because of the ice cream. And then I said, yes, all the meal, again, from Senegal, all this good rice. Yeah, how many times are you going to be in awe in front of a plate that has always the same 4 protein? Lamb, beef, chicken, fish, seafood. 5. Okay, I'll give it to you. 5. How many times? Carbs, rice, potato,
Pasta?
How many times? I mean, human beings are the only species in the species of the species at all time that keep on being at awe in front of a plate. Don't you know you are it, not the food? So if you know you are it, it's about time you think of the food being just an addition to that it. But it can't be all. What a shift do we need to have? And she just startled my niece and say, wow, I guess that was my problem.
Yeah.
Too much food, too much thinking what I should eat. It's just like, wow, if you're hungry, eat. If you're not hungry, don't eat. If you're hungry, eat what? Whatever is there. Why is it there? Because you put it there. If you don't put it there, it's not walking to your house. It's definitely not walking to your refrigerator. So this constant 10 million diets, I don't understand. We make it such an important thing that we're starving our animals or overeating them or over-giving them grains. I mean, it's just like, wow, what we spend our time thinking. And not thinking at the right thing. I just don't understand.
Well,
so demystify food.
Yeah.
Part of being healthy.
Demystify food. Figure out what works for your body. Put that in your refrigerator. Make that when you get home.
And be done.
Yeah.
Be done. I mean, what kind of combination of food can you do with 4 protein and 5 carbs? Simple. Go back to simple. You know, the worst thing anybody can give us is choice sometimes. Remove the choice and a lot of people will definitely know what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Really. Remove the choices.
Well, choice is what our consumer mind, the mind driven by the ego, which is not serving you, loves, because it just gives us endless opportunity to sit and think about all the choices that we have. And then we start overanalyzing all the values and pros and cons of every choice. Simplify your food, make it whole and complete to the extent that you can. Move in a simple way of walking as much as you can. Build your life around these 2 things, and you've got the physical part pretty much handled.
And then to weigh, people weigh their food every day to get the right calories, the right this. Don't you have an internal clock that tells you?
Once you set it right. Once you set it right. Some people's is not set right, and so they don't have it.
Because they're eating with their eyes or their desires. But we all know. And look at your body. It's telling you. I'm the one that says all these men with these big bellies, if it was their balls that were so swollen, believe me, they will go see a doctor. I mean, for real. If you're hanging into this big beer belly, meat belly, and you're not doing anything, believe me, if it was your balls, you would not wait for anybody to say, go check it. I'm sorry.
Right?
Shouldn't we talk about that? So, yes, simple. I mean, that's it. What
Yeah.
else? What else to be talking about in health?
Well,
Movement, water,
and mental health.
demystified food, and the next is mental health.
Mental health. This, if you don't get your mental health, this almost deserves its own separate video. But it's inside of health is your mental health.
Well, let's talk about it. What is mental health? I'm going to start by sharing with you what we are saying in Africa that my husband loves, by the way, that says nit moy garabam, meaning the remedy for a human being is another human being. When you're talking about mental health, Sadhguru said that one day in one of his shows, 1 out of 2 people feels lonely when 2 people are sitting together.
Yeah.
So why we mentally challenged is most people feel lonely, and it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
We are lonely even when we are sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
And now we have a device that is this phone that making us even lonelier. Because you think you are with people, you're just wasting your time. They don't know you there. You will never get to know them. But your wife next to you is very lonely. Your kids, very lonely. You yourself, when you drop that phone, very lonely. Why? How do you know? That's why you're going back to the phone. It's that simple. So mental health, yes. We all mentally challenged. Why? Because we're missing. We're missing something. What are we missing? Us.
Each other.
Each other.
And what does that look like?
How do you know? Have a headache, go to a party. Gone.
Yeah.
Feel lonely, go to a party. Gone.
Yeah.
You know.
Feel depressed.
Feel
Go to
depressed.
a party.
Go to a
Gone.
party. Gone. There is no such a thing as being with people that you love, with the joy and the laughter and the touch, and be mentally challenged. No.
Well,
So loneliness is something we need to watch for. Like I always said, if God wanted you to be alone, you come here alone, be alone, and do it all alone. It's not designed like that. Why? Because we need each other. As simple as that. So part of the longevity, stay connected. Disconnect with your phone so that you stay really connected the right way.
which you're getting into part 2. So it's health, friends, and money. So literally the second part of longevity is this part.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's really, so we're perfectly segueing into part 2 of this.
Yes.
And so we're going to save that for next time.
Exactly.
Anything else you want to say about the health part?
The other part we did not talk about is sun, the importance of charging yourself every day.
Mm-hmm.
Sun exposure. Not the way some people are doing it, burning their skin. 20 minutes a day, be outside. It's good for your eyes. The eyes will actually, once you're looking at the sun without sunglasses, there is something that tells the skin to produce the sun protection that you need. I mean, this body is just so amazingly done that all we have to do is just pay attention and stay out of the way.
Yeah.
you know, so sun exposure, very important. I mean, we're all missing vitamin D's. Mm-hmm. It is the era of lack of vitamin D's. Supplement if you're sure that you are not getting all you need with your food, which because some people it's just so hard to cook for themselves. That's another thing.
The food is
Please,
also stripped of a lot of the nutrients. Even the raw materials are stripped of the
absolutely.
nutrients.
Absolutely. Just pay attention.
I mean, I can tell that we eat very well. We eat almost all home cooked food. Nothing. There's no packages that we rip open to eat anything. And yet I can tell if I don't take my vitamins, I can
Yes.
tell the difference.
That's
So
right.
no matter how good we are buying, no
Yes.
matter how much we're preparing fresh, the food just doesn't have everything it needs anymore. And so my personal experience is that we need to supplement.
Yes.
Now, the supplements that you get, I mean, that's a whole, you can dig down that rabbit hole yourself,
That's
methylated, all of that stuff. And so I would recommend you do your research, and maybe we
Yes.
can do a different show on the considerations
vitamins.
around that. But yes, I'm a huge fan of the supplements because I can tell. I can literally tell. Well, water, I can tell if I'm down, if I'm having an off day, number one is water. I grab water. I drink 20 ounces or 24 ounces of water, and within 30 minutes, all of a sudden, I'm back to life.
That's right.
That's number one. Or number two, if I have to take a nap in the afternoon every day, I can just tell I quit taking my vitamins, because
Yeah.
as soon as I take them, no more nap.
Yeah. Well, the other one is sleep.
Yeah, well,
Sleep is a big problem. Most people have insomnia. But personally, I used to work at night in this beautiful blues club in Paris. And my sleep cycle was disturbed when you
you work all night.
at night. But this is how I really, again, I only share experiences for me. You can try it for yourself. The minute I stop taking any sleeping pills and I work on my sleep by paying attention, and I say, what is my mind thinking that is keeping me away from sleeping? So I did a reverse thinking. Oh, is it true what my mind is working on? Can I wait for tomorrow during the daytime to think about these thoughts? Yes, I can. How do I know? I don't need them right now. Right now, I need to sleep. So what happened is gratefulness was what really healed my insomnia. Instead of hating being awake and having, oh my God, I'm awake, oh my God, again, here's insomnia, and going in that rabbit hole, I started to say, I'm awake. I'm so grateful to be awake. Time to count my blessings. And after doing that for a few nights, being happy to be awake instead of being dragged, and starting to be thankful for the bed that I'm laying on, my husband who's next to me, my kids, whatever, and go on through the list. By number 10, 12, I couldn't count anymore. I was gone to sleep again. So that's when I understood that is the intention behind whatever you're living and how you interpret it and what you do with it. So heal your sleeping cycle. And if your sleeping cycle is 3 hours, be grateful you're awake. And take that time and use it well. And next thing you know, your body will always take what it needs. The older we get, the less sleep we have. I think it makes sense. The more you start really now being grateful. When you're a child, you don't have time to be grateful. You're in the midst of everything. You think you are the one giving yourself a night. You think you are the one designing your day. The older you get, you realize you are in collaboration with something bigger than you. So you're more grateful. So practice gratefulness, for sure. That's part of the longevity session.
yeah.
So we tackle it. Food, sleep, stay hydrated,
Sun,
movement, definitely friendship.
supplements,
Yes,
definitely friendship.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that
and,
was...
and I think, maybe we'll tackle this on the friendship one, but being married is, I think, a huge thing because you have your built-in best friend right there.
Wow, that's nice.
You're waking up with that person.
Yeah.
And so cultivating a marriage that is that for you.
Relationship.
Yeah, your relationship.
Partner.
Your partner.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
That's and the data actually support that.
Yeah.
Married people are those people that live the longest.
Because you have that's right, a friend, a partner with you.
You have a partner in this life.
Right?
And again,
Yeah.
we're not meant to do it alone.
No.
And we're not doing any of it alone. So we're not doing it alone. And we as a team are not doing it alone either. We need all of you.
That's right.
That's why we're doing this. We are literally doing this because we want all of you along.
Yeah.
We want to be in the party with all of you. We want this to be one party together.
Well, it is already. It's just,
Yeah.
are we conscious?
Are we waking up to it?
Are we waking up? Are we waking up to know that you are not alone and there's so much fun to be having in this life? And you can do that by just following all these tips and add more that you are adding because you know better and you have a part in this. And that's why we're doing it. Anyway, that was the part one. We have more to go.
Yep.
And we'll get back to it next week.
Yeah, next week. All right. Thanks for joining us on the AWA Show, always with awareness. Also my wife's name. I think that was clever. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.